to the end, to the climax, for the body to be committed to Mother Earth. This is a convoy, obviously, and entourage, a lot of people walking in from one direction to another. Okay, we just saw something that looked like the ambulance, the military ambulance, yes. Obviously, that's what it is. The military ambulance that took the body from the airport has arrived. And what next? We think it might be the prayer, that they will go for the prayer, and after the prayer, then the body will be committed to Mother Earth, and that will be it. A journey that began Sunday evening when the death of the former president was announced in a clinic in London. And though it was the burial was expected to have taken place on Monday, but it was later shifted. President Bola Tinubu had directed the Vice President Kassim Shettima to head straight to London to coordinate every activity of bringing back the body of the former president. Right there in London, the governor of Borno State, the chief of staff to the president, all joined in ensuring that the process was carried out smoothly. While also in London, yeah, we see the vice president right here in the live pictures that we have. But while he was in London, he also visited the former head of state, General Abdul Salam, who was hospitalized before now in London and was discharged later. These are, okay, the chief of staff to the president we see now, and Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, and several other people moving now, maybe for the prayer to be held, and then we see what happens next, where the body will be committed to Mother Earth.
We also have former Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who served alongside the former President Muhamadu Buhari there, alongside other dignitaries gathered to pay their last respects to the former president. The former president of Niger Republic is also there. There he is with the red hat. We also have the governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum. That is the governor of Katsina State, Umar Diko Rada. And yeah, they're standing there by the ambulance. We think they are trying to get directives as to how to proceed now for the prayer. There is the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, alongside other dignitaries. Our reporters mentioned earlier that tens, hundreds of dignitaries are gathered there. Talk about some governors, 7 governors, former governors, senators, members of the House of Representatives. And let's pause now to listen to some sound from there. But there we see the body being wheeled. Right.
Ready to be wheeled.
Waiting to be wheeled, yes. We're minutes away from the committal of former President Muhammadu Buhari who lived a life of service and spent over a decade serving fatherland, first in his capacity as head of state, and then later as democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that will bring to an end this glorious career spanning more than a decade.
Allah dai biya.
When close family will have time to pay their last respect before the interment will take place. Perhaps that's what's about to start or what is going on now. We didn't see much of ladies in black before now. Okay, we see them more now again. And that suggests that it's something close to deep emotion taking over this period. Some personal prayers being offered, and lots of thoughts. You can only imagine what's going through their minds at a time like this. Someone they have lived with all their lives, called father, called uncle, called brother, now getting close to the time that they wouldn't see him anymore. Quite an emotional moment for them.
A very emotional moment indeed, it is. Prayers would any moment now be offered for the former president. We see, just like Uzonna mentioned, some people there already filing to pray and to pay their last respects, after which his body would be committed to Mother Earth. We see mourners taking turns around the ambulance to pay their last respects. The former president, Muhamadu Buhari, retired as a major general, and today we have seen a show of honor coming from military personnel of that rank.
We can also see the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, who is also trying to catch a glimpse of what is happening here. Security is very tight, and the military personnel are right here to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. We can see the former Vice President, Yemi Oshibanjo, making his way into that arena. military personnel have been asked to send out anyone who is trying to be unruly. That's to give you a sense of how tight the security is. Now, we can see President Tinubu approaching this arena. He's in the black SUV over there, and his security details are trying to ensure that the road is clear for the president. You can see them trying to ensure that the space is cleared. So at this moment, we can confirm to our viewers that the president you can hear the announcement that only His Excellency the President. Now, the President is now moving into the graveyard where the President, the former President, Muhamadu Buhari, will be interred.
Activity that is going to take place here.
Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbadabiamila, in conversation with both the President and Vice President, perhaps trying to get clarification on some matters before the committal process would begin. Speaker of the House of Representatives is sitting on the left of the President there, is Abbas Tajuddin, all seated, waiting patiently. And behind the President standing there is son of the President, Sheyi Tinubu. The governor of Kano State, Abba Yusuf, is also in attendance. It's good to see that even in death, Muhammadu Buhari is a unifying force, bringing together people from different political divides people of different faith gathering in solemn reverence for the man who has had the opportunity to lead Nigeria in different capacities. First as military president, and then later as democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Live pictures from Daura in Katsina State, where former President Muhamadu Buhari would be interred any moment now. TVC News is live at the graveside, bringing you pictures, moment by moment, of events taking place there. Pictures there of President Bola Tinubu, who is leading the nation in mourning the man, Muhammadu Buhari, his predecessor as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. All is set. You can see a close-up picture there of the grave. Remember, former President Muhammadu Buhari was a Muslim, and he's being buried today in line with Islamic rites. He died on Sunday at a London clinic at the age of 82. After which President Bola Tinubu ordered his Vice President, Kashim Shettima, to lead the federal government delegation to both commiserate with his family in London and to accompany the body back home to Nigeria. Security is watertight in and around the residence of the former President Muhammadu Buhari, as military personnel alongside sister security agencies work together to ensure a smooth process for this state funeral of former President Muhammadu Buhari. Any moment now, his body would be committed to Mother Earth. TVC News is live at the Daura residence of the former president to bring you live coverage of the committal process.
Who served Nigeria with unwavering dedication. Live on your screen is the son of the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, and a conversation with President Bola Tinubu. Muhammadu Buhari has been described as a statesman, a former statesman in Nigeria, soldier, with unwavering dedication to Nigeria. And that's the son of former President Muhammadu Buhari discussing with President Bola Tinubu. Any moment from now, we'll see the former president being committed to Mother Earth.
One of the good things today is that the temperature in Katsina is not as hot as it used to be. While the temperature in Lagos is about 28 degrees centigrade, that of Katsina today is about 32. But this is a place that could get up to 38 degrees. So the temperature is not as harsh as it used to ordinarily be. So it's a bit more at the rank of Major General. Our correspondent Lupa Som had told us earlier that getting access into this environment was a very daunting task, and that limits the number of cameramen you can have in that space. It will be expected that TVC News will be the source for signal for most TV stations covering this burial. I'm not too sure about that, but I suspect because of the limitations earlier announced of people being able to access, gain access into that place. So TVC News right now might be this provider of the signal, and that would be a good thing for us to share with our colleagues. Use it in tomorrow. Use it in tomorrow. We are out of that place now. They will be caught.
Mike is there.
what I think Matiruka made a very good point that, look, this man is 82 years old. Don't use what happened in the last 8 years to judge him. Very important point.
Absolutely. One thing that you cannot take away from him, there are some facts about Buhari. That he's a general, yes. That he was the military ruler, yes. That he was elected president, yes.
And I think we all can agree on the facts.
Those facts, they are on, but those things are debatable. Is whether or not he was able to live up to the expectations of the promises that he made on the platform of the change that he came with.
Yeah.
But he's a man whose political figure is towering, and you will imagine if you are being described as is being described in the modern times as perhaps the most influential political figure out of northern Nigeria.
Okay.
It's even being compared as high as the Sardauner of Sokoto.
Yeah.
So these are very interesting. Or a member of the family.
Not directly, Seun. So you see now that was presented to the officer coordinating, who will in turn give it to the Chief of Defense Staff, who in turn will present it to the President, and then the President will present it on behalf of Nigeria and Nigerians to the family of late Muhamadu Buhari in gratitude for his life of service to the nation. But what we're witnessing right now is this has been given to the Chief of Defense Staff, and I think the Chief of Defense Staff is, it's been given to him now as we speak.
So what we are saying, right, I mean, what has happened to them out there is a merger, a combination of Islamic burial rites and the military funeral tradition. Process. So they try to juggle both. You can see the vice president, a former Zamfara state governor, and of course the body is being stripped of the flag, the Nigerian colors, and the flag will then be presented as the Marquis mentioned.
Okay. So happily.
So there were two flags.
Yeah.
Or there were two flags on top. One has been presented to the family. The other was just to drape it, perhaps for the sake of dignity. But we know that according to Islamic rites, he can only be buried in a white piece of cloth. So that last piece of flag has been taken off, and now you can see the dignitaries around the final resting place, led by Vice President Kashim Shettima. Of course, President Tinubu is looking on from a distance there, but he's not directly by the graveside. We can see the Vice President there, and it appears that the final prayers will be said as his body is being lowered into the grave, the final resting place. We already saw that tiny, I'm not sure what the measurement is, but it does look like 6 by 1 foot, where that final body, will be laid to rest in finality in Mother Earth. You can see it as it's been lowered into that resting place, Seun.
Interesting indeed. Like I said, a combination of two different traditions: Islamic rites of burial passage and the military funeral procedures in burying their own dead. So this is what we have seen. Usually, when the military buries one of their own, they put the citation is being read, the gun salute, and the bugle is being played, showing the final respect, and then the flag is being unveiled on the body of the dead and handed over to a member of the family. All these have been done, and Chief Imam is the one who will coordinate the final committal to Mother Earth, and that's what we're seeing live right now.
Sure, I think one of the things that also sticks out here is the fact that we can see on the side there, because after he's been lowered into Mother Earth, you can see that there are a number of paraphernalia right beside it, sticks and mats, which will be used to cover that final resting place. And it would seem that in Islam, no matter who you are, that is just how you're going to be laid to rest. It's not
the simplicity.
Yes, it's not dependent on your status in life. It does appear that it will be something as simple as sticks and a mat.
Yeah, there is a status to bury the dead. You assume that status as long as you are a Muslim and you decide to be buried in the Islamic way. That is the status. Your status as human breathing, as soon as you're dead, this is what happens according to Islamic rite. And it shows the stark simplicity of life, the circle of life, the sheer humanity in when the life is out of the human body, and a lot of things that happen when a man breathes his last. So this is the moment we have all been waiting for, the final interment of the Nigeria's former president, Muhamadu Buhari. They call him, some call him Baba, some call him Megaskia, some call him say Buhari. Whatever it is to you, whoever it may appear to you, this is the man that you cannot dispute the fact that he was a general in the army, former head of state, two-time Nigeria's elected president, who died at the age of 82. And before sunset, he's been buried in the hometown where he was born in Daura, Katsina State.
Indeed, Sean, the time as we speak is 5:53 p.m. local time, and you'll see that the sticks are finally being put, the sticks that had been on the side are finally being put across that final resting place. They will be covered with the mat, perhaps also with the sand we also see there, and that is the note of finality to this life lived with passion for Nigeria, lived with devotion to the unity of Nigeria. For those who have sent in their tribute to a man who has taught us a lesson in resilience and not giving up easily on the hopes that you have for your country. Now, as we have earlier highlighted, whether or not he was able to live up to the ideals which a lot of Nigerians had believed the jury will still be out there. I guess that will be discussed perhaps even years when history has been considered. Usually the prayer is that history be kind to you. But as we see right now, the final rites being done, the sticks have now been laid across, and the mats are now being put on that final resting place, soon to be covered with earth, and perhaps that will be it for what we know for the Islamic burial rites.
Of course, some of the processes in an Islamic burial is such that the body is carried to the burial site. Of course, we've seen that often in a silent procession with only men traditionally allowed to attend the burial. And oftentimes the graves is dug perpendicular to Mecca. The body is placed on his right side facing the holy city. And each mourner, he says, placed 3 handfuls of soil into the grave. And there is a marker which we have seen is placed to identify the grave without elaborate designs. And in all of this is the fact that when gathering at the designated area, there are about 3 rows of typically form at least 3 rows with men in front, followed by children, and then women at the back. So Islamically speaking, women are not allowed in proximity too close. Men in front, children followed in that row, in that order, and women at the back. And usually the body is wrapped in 3 for men or 5 for women pieces of white cloth. And so we've seen that, the stark white cloth. And all of this is said to show simplicity, spirituality, and speed.
All of this were done in the time when there was no technology, Seun. But today, we can tell you that a lot of people have been able to see, with the aid of technology and the advent of television and social media, been able to get a front line view of the burial ceremony. That includes women and children who would have been at the back. today we can see on the TV, I can say, Sheon,
That's a very important point.
Absolutely.
as close as possible.
They're talking about physical proximity, not virtual or
No, but it is a point to make because these pictures are coming to us live and they're as real as they get. Yeah. I mean, we can see firsthand what is being done, not just myself, I mean, but thousands, millions of Nigerians who are currently watching this broadcast, not just on our platform, but on many other platforms that are broadcasting as well. And they're seeing these pictures being beamed live directly into their homes, and they can be a part of this. We know that in Nigeria today, public holiday has been declared in honor of the president, so a lot of people will be at home, and usually there is a bit of sobriety that follows this moment. You know, a reminder that we all came from or for those who believe in a force greater than us, that there will be a moment of reckoning and a moment when we shall breathe no more, and this is all that will be allowed.
So what you're seeing right now, the chief imam performing the final rites of in his passage moments for the late president. Of course, they're covering the body, and prominently you can see the heart of a former governor of Ogun State, who is a very close ally, a friend to the former president. In fact, the former president would say that whenever he was in Lagos, he often sleeps in the house of Ibikunle Amosun, and you can see him right in the front row, backing the camera, and the vice president and all the dignitaries are right there, just at the grave side, trying to pay their final respect. So just to note that this is a final moment.
also witnessed the weather.
Media, go behind. Media, bro.
Sau uku wanda ake cewa 21 gun wanda za a yi muna kira ga jama'a da ke wani wuri da Allah kuma gefe a sanar da to akwai kwanciyar ta tashi da muke gudun kada ya taɓa jama'a da wannan wanda ke tsakiya su koma bayan nan akwai busa ta rugali
Again, we pray for indulgence. Please step backwards for the time of the room. The firing party should please be on standby. The firing party should please be on standby while the grove is being covered completely. After the grove is covered, then we shall have the